Okay, last up is Mr. Glenn Otto. And by the way, it's the order was what they have selected by ward number, so it doesn't mean that wherever they're at in line is their importance. So, but Mr. Glenn Otto is running for the at-large position. Glenn has been married to Andy Otto since January of 1995. Andy has been involved in such organizations as the Every Warrior Place, the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. She was the chairman of that from 2007-2008. Secretary for the PTO Valley Forge Elementary School, board member of the Heber Heights Chamber of Commerce Small Business Coalition, and has active participation with the Chamber Wings Group. Glenn and Andy have enjoyed raising 3 sons, Corey, who is a graduate of Wayne, Chris, also a graduate of Wayne, and Alex, attend Wayne High School, where they all remain attained GPAs extremely high. So they participated in sports, including varsity football and track. Glenn actually is a graduate of Beaver Creek High School and has pursued engineering and visual communication studies at Wright State University and Sinclair Community College. Glenn has received his military training in electronics at the Ordnance Missile and Munitions Center and School, Redstone Arsenal in Alabama. Glenn and Andy both have operated an insurance agency here in Heber Heights since 1999. Over the years, they've transitioned from operating a captive agency with American Family to actually operating an insurance franchise to their current position of owning and operating an independent agency. They offer a very much assorted list of company options, which obviously he has served our community here through their business. Glenn believes that community involvement is one of the most important civic duties that one can engage in, and he has served in the city of Heber Heights as a member of the Ordinance Review Commission and currently serves on the Board of Zoning Appeals. He was a founding member and held the co-chair seat for the Heber Heights Community Event Foundation, which organized the Heber Heights Parade and Picnic over the Labor Day weekend back in 2007, and is an active member of the Heber Heights Chamber of Commerce. Thank you. Glenn has also been active with youth sports within the Heber Heights area. He has served as the A board member with the public relations representative and vice president seats of the Brick City Baseball. He has coached with the Wayne Pee Wee Football Association and the Heber Heights Little League. Wayne Wrestling, so he's very active with the schools. He also was a coach with the 8th grade Heber Heights City Schools baseball team. He also is active with the Dayton Area Baseball Club. Glenn has received many awards through the community service work and his military service. He is most proud of the 2005 Ed Hart Memorial Award, which he received from the Heber Heights Chamber of Commerce back in 2005. Glenn had served with the United States Army from June of 1986 until May of 1991. His duty assignments included Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama. And if you live down there, it's called Huntsville. 11th Air Defense Artillery Brigade at Fort Bliss, Texas, and the 8th Infantry Division in Mainz, Germany. So I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Glenn Otto, who is running at large.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. Thank you to Jeff and the restaurant for having us today and hosting this for us. I appreciate that. And thank you all for coming out. And those of you who are on our live feed, thank you for tuning in. As Mark has already told you, my name is Glenn Otto, and I'm running for the at-large council seat. again, since moving here in '94, I have been an active member of this community through volunteer efforts. As Mark said, I served our city as the vice chairman of the Ordinance Review Commission in 2010, and I currently serve as a member of the Board of Zoning Appeals with the city as well. Spent many years coaching youth sports throughout Huber Heights, working to build young men and women of our community into team players who will someday benefit our community. I volunteered my time with many nonprofit organizations as well, such as the Chamber of Commerce and Every Warrior Plays program at the high school. My wife and I have even gone as far, as Mark said, as personally financing and organizing a parade in 2007 for the city when no one else would. We just felt it was that important to have that community involvement. That has been my passion since I've lived in Huber Heights. That passion for the community of Huber Heights is why my wife and I decided to maintain our business here in Huber Heights and raise our children in Huber Heights as well. Over the past few years, my passion for this community has grown even more. But my concern has grown as well. Huber Heights is the third largest city in one of the largest counties in the state of Ohio. It is important that we have solid leadership guiding our community. The current office holders have shown that their concerns are less people motivated than politically motivated. They have also raised some concerns about their ability to lead our city. We've seen spending on multi-million-dollar projects around our city that no one asked for. Quite frankly, we weren't allowed our input. We have seen our council become disconnected with the public and even go as far as publicly lashing out when questioned. Our own duly elected mayor cannot even voice his own opinions without being attacked. I would like to see more conversation take place within our community, and I'd like to see its representatives engage with our everyday citizens. Now, we all bring our own individual strengths and focuses to the job, and I would like to make my primary focus one of fiscal responsibility, as has been previously discussed, and the rebuilding of our community itself. Some of the things I believe we need to focus on immediately include our infrastructure. It's been said of our water by our current representatives that our city is water rich, and indeed that's true. We also hear a lot about water main breaks around our town, especially recently and in this weather. This should not be a surprise to anyone. Our city has known for years that our water lines need to be worked on and updated. Water softening, there have been surveys, citizens have asked for it, to no avail. We saw a city pool shut down due to repairs needed, and believe it or not, the cost of water. Our water company is one of the most successful entities within our city, but our citizens are receiving no direct benefit from it outside of their daily use. Speaking to our roads, I've been told by one member of council that we have some of the finest roads in the region. I'm not sure I can agree with that. Our road crew is good, they're very good, but imagine what they could do if they were funded as well as some of the entertainment venues that we've been building around Huber Heights. Speaking to our parks, this one's very near and dear to me. We have an amazing park system here in Huber Heights. Unfortunately, it's been neglected. I've even heard Tom Cloud Park referred to as if we had assumed some type of a burden from the city of Dayton. In my opinion, it's a great asset that we should be utilizing. In the grand scheme, great improvements can be made to our parks with very little investment, all benefiting the residents of Huber Heights. I also want to talk about working with others, with our schools. I've heard council consistently state that they are separate entities, and though that's true, one cannot survive without the other. Leadership from this city and the schools needs to step up in unison to protect and advance our entire community. We can accomplish a lot more by working together than we can individually. In addition, the use of TIF funding, when not necessary, is damaging to both our city and its schools. Speaking to our local youth sports leagues, which, as Mark has said, I've been very involved with over the years with a lot of the different local leagues. Currently, our local sports leagues, I believe, do more for the upkeep of our parks than our actual Parks and Recreations Department, which is the YMCA. What are we getting for the $150,000 a year we pay to the YMCA, folks? With our expansive park system, why do we not have a Parks and Recreation Department anymore? We had one at one time. Again, if we cannot get fully involved, or if we get fully involved with our local youth sports leagues, then we can provide even more for our children and our community. To our business owners, we have many shopping centers and businesses within Huber Heights that are vacant and in disarray. How can we work with them to enforce ordinances and provide some help? Until we institute a pattern of direct contact with these entities and the use of our Chamber of Commerce as a partner, things will remain stagnant. And to our residents, folks, currently our housing stock is decaying and becoming more and more vacant. Our property values are dropping every year. I'm sure you guys get your notices as I do. Why are we subsidizing new housing developments? We've dropped $10 million into a new housing development in the city. Do we need more homes?
No.
Again, we need to devote time to working with our residents to enforce ordinances and develop or find programs that can improve the condition of everyone throughout the city. There are indeed many things that our city can do to improve the standard of living within Huber Heights. We can rebuild our community. Then we will naturally attract the new residents and businesses that will grow our city in a very positive way. I would like to see our city become more active in our community, and it's time for those people who simply want to occupy a place of recognition to step down. It's time for interactive leadership, and it's time for change. Folks, I want to thank you all for coming out today and listening. This is going to be quite an arduous campaign for me as I have to run 2 races here. I want to remind you all that we have a primary May 5th, so I'll need you all out there then to push me to November, and then we'll need to see you out in November as well. I'm looking forward to working for the city of Huber Heights and doing everything I can to ensure its future. Thank you very much.